I'm Fran Bradshaw, Francis Bradshaw. I started Moon Roast back in 2012. I worked during the day and roasted in the evenings as a way to start the business. I was working in my barn for about 3 years and wheelbarrowing the beans from the road in the front back into the back garden for several years. And then we moved up into the farm here, where the buildings these are grade 2 listed buildings, and they've been converted, really mainly disused buildings, farm buildings, that have been converted into a roastery. Moon roast, roasting under the light of the moon. And we had a group of barn owls that living in the area, so hence that was ended up as part of the logo. But there's a little bit of background to why I started in coffee, going right back to my great-grandfather in 1900, who was a tea and coffee broker in London. It all started at Plantation House in Mincing Lane, and he learnt the tea and coffee trade, and it went on. My grandfather worked there, and then my father and my uncle. My dad was sent to Ceylon, my uncle to East Africa to learn the tea trade, and from there on my dad worked for Lion's Tea and then was recruited by Nestle to develop instant tea, which never really took off. So he's moved to coffee, and he sort of helped develop Gold Blend for Nestle in the 70s, really. I suppose I saw the specialty grade coffee scene really sort of starting to grow, and that was what I was interested in. But sort of based on what my dad was doing, he used to cup a lot of coffees in a day, sometimes up to 100 of Brazil coffees in a day. So I learnt my sort of basic skills from him. We've organically grown here at Moon Roast, from just myself and my wife helping out. Then we recruited Dan, who's our head roaster, and he's been with us actually almost 7 years to the day. We have a Probat 25 and a Loring 35 kilo roaster. I still roast, particularly when people are away or on holiday, and so that's part of my day. My background is in agriculture, so I studied agriculture, so I've got a keen interest in the farmer right back to the smallholder at origin. So we're keen to sort of support those small farmers and make sure that they're getting a fair price for what they're producing. But also, I think it works well in specialty coffee where they're getting rewarded for quality, and it's encouraging farmers to to increase quality and process in the best way. And there's lots of interesting things going on there. It's difficult for a small roastery to do much direct trade. In time that might be what we do more of. Last year, 2 of us went to Origin, which was quite nice to sort of build the connection with our suppliers. Dan, our head roaster, went to Uganda. I went to Peru in September. So, in fact, we've just launched our Clever Nera from Peru just recently. So he's a smallholder farmer, 1.5 hectares, doing a great job of, really producing some lovely coffees. And he's come a long way. You can see how he's seen the benefit of doing things well, and it's interesting to see how he's developed what he's doing there. The best method really is to use a number of coffee hunters, if you like, out there, and send us samples and really select from those samples. I'm quite involved with sourcing of green coffee and in cupping. So we're regularly, from a quality point of view, we're cupping all our coffees a number of times a week. And then there's the other reason for cupping when we're actually searching for new coffees to bring in. So we tend to we've got our core range of coffees, which are generally similar, so year in, year out. And then we have an explore range as well. So we're bringing in, there's probably on average a new coffee every month. And they are slightly lighter roasted, probably a bit more suitable for pour over type, filter type purpose, but can be dialed in on the espresso machine. From the beginning, our sort of go-to espresso blend is Moonshot, which is Brazil-based with a natural Ethiopia. And it's got broad appeal, for those haven't necessarily tried specialty coffee, but it's a good introduction into it. It's easy to dial in. If you're at home, it's not too difficult to, you're not wasting a lot of beans trying to dial it in at home. We're always looking for new, interesting coffees and new origins as well. And there's so many new processes coming in now, which makes it quite fascinating. And we're quite picky about what we choose, and only really try and choose some really interesting coffees, whether it's washed, honey process, or or fermented. Anaerobic fermentation. We've had some nice ones of those come in, which reminds me of my farming days. It's a little bit like making silage, where you cut the grass, put it in a clamp, and you totally seal it up with no air, and there it anaerobically ferments. And when you open the grass clamp, it's beautiful grass, sweet grass, smell. A smell, not so much taste, but in a way, that's what they're doing with coffee in this method and producing some amazing results. With our wholesale customers, we try and give them as much background information, really. So we always invite them up to the roastery. They see the whole process right from. We run through right from the farm and how coffee's processed, and then they see the roasting process, and then we go on to cupping and obviously the training on the espresso machines, and then we offer ongoing support. On the other side of things, we offer home barista courses here in the training room here, and so that there's a big take up on that. People sometimes bring in their own machines as well, so they can really get the full experience. We do coffee tours, which are another coffee roastery tours. So might take up to 15 people, and they'll get to cup coffees where often you don't get a chance to taste coffees alongside one another. So it's interesting to take to something as like a Sumatran against an Ethiopian against a Guatemalan and actually see the differences. It's always been our aim, really, is to bring better coffee to everyone and we don't want to overcomplicate specialty coffee, really. So a little bit where we're coming from, we're moon roast, but we're down to earth. We don't want to be a factory of coffee at all. We want to be known for our quality and consistency. We're not telling people you should drink this because it's the best, but let people find out for themselves and give them the choice. And it's up to them what they like. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time to convert from some more commodity grade coffee to a specialty. I have a black Labrador which I take out every day. Probably actually before I get to the roastery, I normally walk her up in the farm behind the roastery. So I'm quite a dog walker, and you can sort out quite a lot of things when you're out walking the dog. We do like, as a family, going down to the West Country. We do quite a bit of surfing and bodyboarding. We've got 3 sons, all into the water and surfing and all that sort of thing. So we're down there a fair bit. We're all quite keen on our sport with various things in the family. Play rugby, quite a lot of tennis and basketball. So we're all quite into our sport. Other than that, I don't know. It's doesn't seem too much time when you've got 3 sons. There's always something going on. So there's not massive amount of time for hobbies at the moment, I have to say. Yeah.